why you're, I want to talk about why your insurance agent matters. Because a lot of times you run into the philosophy that all insurance is the same. It's just a matter of price. And that is not even close to being true. So what's the difference? McDonald-Leavitt is an independent broker. What is an independent broker? Independent broker is somebody who is not a direct writer like Farmers or State Farm. Those insurance agents are employees of that company. When you're talking to a farmer's agent, you're talking to an employee of Farmers. When you're dealing with McDonald-Leavitt, I am not an employee of anybody except McDonald-Leavitt. I have contracts with carriers. Carriers are insurance companies, but I do not work for them. I work with them. Why is this different? Well, one thing is you got markets. So if Travelers decides that they no longer want to write your business because they don't like where your building is, I can go to Nationwide. If you're with Farmers and Farmers decides that they don't want to write your building because of where it is, you're pretty much done. Now you got to go look for somebody else. That's not the case with us. Also, this came out during the fires, that the Tubbs fires and the other fires that we've all had, is that your agent, if direct writers were told not to talk to their clients during the time of the claim, just let the claims adjuster handle it. You don't talk to them. That was not the case with McDonald-Leavitt. We work hand in hand with our clients and worked our way through the claim process. So, and sometimes we had to fight with carriers because the adjusters weren't handling the claim right. So when the client is wrong and the company is right, I will explain that to the client. When the client is right and the company is wrong, I'll fight for them. I can do that because I don't work for the company. Nobody's going to fire me if I'm arguing with an insurance company. So that makes a big difference. Another thing too is the difference in the MLIA is that we handle medium and small accounts always personal. We don't have a service center. A lot of agencies that if you're only paying $5,000 or $10,000 a year for your insurance, you never even talk to your insurance agent. The guy that sold you the initial policy, you never even talk to him again. What you end up being in is a service center. They move you over to a service center, and then you're just talking to somebody on the end of an 800 number that could be in Ohio, or India. I've run into that too. So you need to make sure that you understand that when you're dealing with some of these other larger companies. McDonald-Leavitt doesn't do that. If you want to talk to the owner, you call up and you ask for the owner. My wife and I work very hard, and we're there every single day working away. We're not out on the golf course, and we're not untouchable because we're the owners. You can't talk to us, talk to our employees, which we have 14 employees right now. So it's hands-on. We're hands-on. When Kim and I bought the company back in '99, our driving goal was to have a company that we would want to run it like a place that we would want to work at. That was our philosophy. So we've had employees that are still with us from when we originally bought the company. We have doubled the size of the company since we bought it. And we've expanded our commercial base to the point where it used to be mostly hospitality, and now we run all around. We have truckers, and we have contractors, and we have wineries, and we write all across the board. So if anybody is starting a business, like I mentioned earlier, or if somebody's running into trouble because they can't talk to their agent, or their agent always comes in at the last minute with the renewal, those are the kinds of things that we can help with. I have been in this business for over 30 years. Started back in '85. Let me tell you, it is so different now than it was when I started. Insurance is completely different. I can remember when we got a fax machine, and we were all excited because before that, you bound a policy by post date. It was a little date that was on the envelope, that's when the policy started. Then we got a fax machine, and the fax machine was when the policy would start, because you can fax it now. Now everything is done online. We even do our own rating. So it used to be that you send it to the underwriter, and the underwriter would do all the work. Now they put it on the website, and you end up doing all the work. So I'm not sure how that works out because they keep cutting my commission and giving me more work, but that's the way the industry is going. Property insurance in California is very difficult now, very difficult. You can easily pay 2 or 3 times what you paid 3 years ago for building and property insurance in California. And it's not, it doesn't look like it's getting any better anytime soon. If we keep having, every year practically a town burns up. So that's insurance companies, that's not a sustainable business model for an insurance company. Our biggest value in our company is service. Like I said, we're dedicated to answering your phone or email that day or the next within 24 hours. If you need a certificate, a lot of accounts are certificate heavy, which means that they need to have additional insureds on their policy so they can go work there. Security companies, alarm companies, water testing companies, all those people need certificates because they have to go out on somebody else's property and do their work. And people's property, like the winery, is going to want to be named additional insured in case something bad happens. They're covered. So certificates, especially contractors, certificates for contractors are pretty big too. So those are the kinds of things that we turn around fairly quickly and make sure that they're done right. I do have a minute and a half left. If anybody has any questions.
Hey, David, I got one for you.
Okay.
In the introduction, I've neglected to mention that what our group doesn't know about you is that once upon a time you were aspiring to be a PI. Could you tell us what changed course for you and you went into the insurance field?
So I went to work for my uncle who used to own the company, and just till I could figure out what I was doing, because this is back in '85 and I was 20-something years old, and what 20-year-old knows what they're going to do? So I didn't know. But I always thought it'd be really cool to be a private detective because it just looked like a cool job. But so I was just going to stick around with the insurance until I became a private detective. Well, 30-something years later, it didn't happen. But I really enjoy what I do now. The biggest thing that we get to do is we get to help people. The claim process, a lot of people say nobody wants to deal with the claims. So that's when the rubber hits the road. That's when what McDonald-Leavitt does is really important because, like I said, we're not selling shoes. If it doesn't work out, you just take it back. Your insurance policy doesn't work like that. If your insurance policy doesn't work out, then you don't get your business back, okay? You're done. So that policy better be written correctly so that you do get. The idea of the policy is to put you back the day before you had the loss. And if the policy isn't written correctly, that's not going to happen for you. So that it's very important. That's what I mean. Your agent matters. So now I am out of time. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, everybody.
David, I've got a great PI story for you sometime. We'll have to go to one-to-one.
We'll do a one-to-one. I'm available for one-to-ones, and I am going to be back in town on the 16th. So that week, let's start scheduling some one-to-ones. That'll be great.
Well, thank you both, David and Garrick. You guys each had a lot of facts, and Garrick's were website facts and search facts. Yours was more of a fact